until our next episode. For head coach Will Kreisky, I'm Chris Bosen. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.
This is the Coach Will Kreisky Show, a weekly showcase of highlights, interviews, and insights from Riverdale head football coach Will Kreisky. This is Riverdale football. All hail.
Where do my friends and other students find their voice? We find our voice through the performing arts, along with millions of other high school students. By expressing yourself in a role on stage, through an instrument, or at the debate podium, the performing arts give us freedom to find ourselves, to find our place. The stage is where I can play, perform, and compete with my friends.
Performing arts at your school is where creativity meets courage. Encourage the students in your life to find their voice through the performing arts. This message presented by the NFHS, where we encourage all students to play, perform, and compete together.
Rising beside the waters of the Stones River, this hill honors all the brave and loyal warriors who've carried the Riverdale banner of red and gold forever forward since 1972. The wind echoes their names across the generation. Miller, merely a few of the thousands whose blood, sweat, tears, and sacrifice forged a foundation of excellence spanning more than half a century. This is Riverdale football. 9 trips to the TSSAA state championship game. 4 Tennessee state championship titles. And 37 playoff appearances, a number unmatched by any Rutherford County school. Tonight, the brave, loyal warriors of this era rise together with the proud, bold spirits of the past to honor Riverdale's championship legacy and inspire the warriors of tomorrow. Together, our voices join with all those who've gone before to proclaim, "We will honor thee forever, Riverdale." All hail. Riverdale High School football 2025 is on the air. Now, from the Aero Sports Tennessee broadcast booth with tonight's game, here's your host, Chris Bosen.
2 high schools that opened in 1972 meet for the 60th time in their history tonight in the Battle of the Borough. It's Riverdale at Oakland in the final TSSAA regular season contest for 2025. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Bosen here at Ray Hughes Stadium, home of the defending 6A state champion Oakland Patriots, the team by which all others are measured now in the state of Tennessee, given their success over the past several seasons under head coach Kevin Creasy. They are loaded with talent, D1 commitments all throughout. They are undefeated on the season at 9-0, and in region play, they've allowed just 14 points. Only one team has scored on them. The Rockville Rockets managed to put 14 points up against them. Other than that, they have shut out all of their region opponents in compiling the 6-0 record. For Riverdale, and head coach Will Kreisky now in his 10th season. Coach Creasy is in his 11th with Oakland, but for Coach Kreisky, his team comes in at 7-2 overall. They are now 5-1 in region competition. And here's the thing, as we reach the final week of the regular season, with a victory tonight coupled with a Rockvale win at Blackman, the Riverdale Warriors could claim a region championship, the #1 seed in region play, and a home game when the postseason starts 1 week from tonight. If they win tonight and defeat the state's #2 team in the Oakland Patriots, but Blackman wins at home against Rockvale, that would set us up for a 3-way tie amongst Oakland, Blackman, and Riverdale. And in that scenario, Oakland would get the #1 seed, Blackman would get the #2 seed, and Riverdale, even with the victory tonight, would finish as the 3 seed and go on the road next week to start the TSSAA playoffs. That's how crazy this battle is. And it is always packed. It is always a heated rivalry. And it's a good thing because we're going to need the heat tonight as the temperatures are in the 40s. Fall has definitely arrived in Middle Tennessee. It's cool. Folks are bundled up, but we'll get plenty of heat from the action on the field. As I bring in my broadcast partner, Ethan Marcum. And Ethan, this contest, as we've talked about it leading into the game tonight while we listen to the Coach Will Kreisky show, so much talent on both sides of the ball. You've got Craig Tutt. You've got Joel Wyatt. You've got Gavin Hampton on the other side. You've got Corbin Reynolds. I mean, there aren't many high school programs who have the quantity of D1 athletes that these two schools have.
Absolutely not. I mean, that's what makes this game so special is this is every year, doesn't matter what each team is doing, this is game of the week for a reason. It's the most heated rivalry in all of Middle Tennessee, and it's always the most talented. It's going to be a lot of fun. You got a lot of great talent on both sides, and it should be a blast.
And given the new transfer rule and the way that there's movement, you've got some additive incentive this season. Dante Cameron last year was the backup quarterback for the Riverdale Warriors. In the offseason, after Gavin Hampton came to Oakland from Ravenwood, Dante Cameron moved over here to Oakland. He is one of 2 quarterbacks we will see tonight, along with the freshman Cam Morton. Cam Morton and Dante Cameron will split snaps for Coach Creasy. They are both talented. They're both dual threat guys. So there's some spiciness to the rivalry as if it needed any more.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it needed much fuel, but they definitely poured a little bit of gas on the fire. Thing about Cameron, I mean, first off, takes a lot of confidence to say, you know what, all right, I can't play here. I'm going to transfer from Riverdale over to Oakland and see if I can play there. I mean, it takes a lot of belief in yourself, so you got to know he's a good player. He's got a lot of talent, but he's not just the only Riverdale transfer on that team. They've also got Trayvon Jackson, who's been great on the defensive side of the ball for the Patriots. There's a lot of familiarity at those positions from both these schools.
And defensively, when you look at the numbers that Oakland has put up, you know, people talk about video game numbers. Usually you talk about that from an offensive side. Offensively, Riverdale this season has put up 267 points. That's just under 30 points per contest. They've allowed 85 points a game. That's an incredible 9.4 points per game. You'd think, well, that must be leading the area. It's not, because of the Oakland Patriots. The Patriots, 360 points per game overall. That's right at a 40-point per game clip. And they have allowed, across their 9 games this season, 34 points. That's 3.8 points per game. So that's all you're dealing with there when it comes to the Patriot defense.
Yeah, and the bulk of that really coming in 2 games against CPA, who's one of the better teams just in the state as well. They had 14 points against the Patriots, and then Rockville put up 14 points a couple weeks ago. This defense is insane. They don't give up much. They don't give you a lot of leeway. They dictate the game, and they're easily one of the best defenses, maybe not just in the state, but just in high school football in general.
6 shutouts on the season as they shut out Huntington, West Virginia, that was back on August 29th in a game played in Kentucky. Huntington came part way, Oakland went part way. 49-0 was the final in that one. That was a week after they defeated CPA 28-14 here at Ray Hughes Stadium. Game 3, that was that rain week. That was at Smyrna. The final in that one was 35-0 in a game that was called at halftime. They put 35 points on the board against the Bulldogs by half. They defeated Pearl Cone here 38-6. The 6 points were scored in extra, mop-up time. 38-0 they won at Siegel. 32-0 they won at Blackman. And then they defeated Rockville 35-14. Went to Laverne and won 56-0. And last week, down Stewart's Creek 49-0 as we have the ROTC bringing the colors on. And so we will pay attention to that as well. And so they've got the cadets bringing out the American flag and the state of Tennessee flag. They'll go left, right. We are on the visitor sideline tonight. We are not in the press box. So from our vantage point, the scoreboard is actually to our right. And so that'll be a little bit different in the event that you might be pairing this with the MyTV30 broadcast rather than watching our YouTube stream. We're glad to have you with us wherever you're watching or listening on aerosports.mixer.com. And we now will have our national anthem from the marching band. Nice rendition of the national anthem. And they will clear the field now. They've got the block letter O at the 50-yard line here with the American flag, stars and stripes inside that O. It says Patriots in the end zone to our left. It says Oakland in the end zone to our right. Blue end zones with white lettering outlined in red. They're very proud of their Patriot heritage here at Oakland High School. They utilize that old New England Patriot look on the side of the helmets, and they're very proud of the success that they have had over the years. As I mentioned earlier, Ethan, this is sort of the program by which all others are measured now, and a lot of that has to do with what Kevin Creasy has done over his 11 seasons here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they should be proud. There's so many great athletes that have come out of this school, so many great accomplishments, great teams, championships. I mean, they have a rich history, and a lot of that coming in the last 10, 15 years. It's a very proud program. They have every right to be prideful.
And what's wild about it is as they are the standard, the defending 6A champions, you look in this stadium, and unless I'm missing it, they don't have the banners hung up. They don't have the stuff hung up because they kind of come with an approach of every year is a new year. What happened last year has nothing to do with this year's team, and they're going to go out and try to prove themselves again and again and again, and that's part of what makes them such a challenging opponent.
Absolutely. A lot of teams that have those winning cultures and those winning traditions, you don't look at it as, all right, well, let's celebrate these past accomplishments. Let's dwell on the past. It's no, all right, well, you did that. You did what you were supposed to do this year. What are you going to do next year? And what are you going to do the year after that? They're very proud and they're very present-minded.
Yeah, what have you done for me lately is a big thing. And I mean, the truth of the matter is it's accurate. You graduate 20, 25, 30 seniors, most every year. And, you turn the page. Like we said, a lot of these guys on both teams tonight will experience their first Battle of the Borough tonight. For Gavin Hampton, the quarterback at Riverdale, this will be the first time he plays in the Battle of the Borough. For Corbin Reynolds, who transferred from Loretto, this will be his first Battle of the Borough. For the quarterback at Oakland that we just talked about, this will be the first time he experiences it as a starter and on the side of the Patriots. There's a lot of newness in this game, even though it's now in its 60th edition.
Yeah, and I think one thing to look at, too, has got to be they run two quarterbacks. Cam Morton, the freshman, this is going to be his first experience in this game. And also, having a freshman that you can trust on this roster is insane, all right? You don't have a lot of guys that can make their own impact that early, but there's another freshman on the Riverdale side as well. They've got Luke Tritch. This is his first experience in this game. A lot of new faces to this rivalry.
Yeah, and those are two guys that you wonder, will Luke Tritch be a part of 4 Battle of the Borough games at Riverdale? Will Cam Morton be a part of 4 Battle of the Borough games at Oakland? And I say that simply because there's a lot of movement now in Middle Tennessee. You just don't know. Obviously, as Riverdale fans, we certainly hope Luke Tritch is here for the long haul.
Yeah, you would hope to have him for the next 3 years. I mean, he has been such a key part of this offense this season, and he's just a fun player to watch. You would not like to see him wearing the opposite team's colors.
And you start to see the cheerleaders and the pep squads take their places now, waiting for these teams to arrive. You know, Coach Will Kreisky was saying they don't get to go inside here. I'm not sure even if they've set up in that tent down there in this area, but the locker rooms are so far away across the campus, you'd have to go through the students, that they don't even bother to go to them. And so this is not a hospitable environment. And then, needless to say, the fan experience on the road here will be such that, you know, you've got the Oakland home fans. But what's nice is the visitor stands are almost as large. I mean, you can pack in folks here, and they'll be lined up around the fences. You know, it may skew 60-40, you know, by the time it's done, just because there's a little more space on that home side, but it'll be a pretty even split.
Absolutely, and this is probably the first game that they'll have all season, maybe even the only game that Oakland will have all season where it's going to be like that 60-40. Not a lot of teams travel well as far as their fan base goes in high school sports. There's just so much going on, you know, Thursdays, Fridays, everyone's got work. But this is a game that you say, all right, well, hey, I'm gonna get out 15 minutes early. I better get there. I mean, this is a game that, you know, you're gonna have packed sides on both stands, and that's, you know, it's not hospitable, but from a crowd perspective, it's not going to be as tough as they expect.
As we think about the keys to this game, as the Patriots now make their way to the end zone, to our right, that's near the scoreboard. As we think about the keys tonight, what have you got?
Well, the biggest thing for Riverdale's got to be opportunities. I mean, anytime anything happens, this is a team that does not give up a lot of mistakes. They don't give you a lot to work with. Oakland, they play very sound, fundamental football. So if you are Riverdale, if the breaks fall your way, no matter what they are, if there are mistakes made, you have to take advantage of them. And the other side for Oakland is just play your game. I mean, you've dominated everyone you've played all season long. The only close game somewhat was CPA. You won that game by 14. Just play your brand of football and try and outmuscle these Riverdale Warriors.
We take a look now as the captains have made their ways to the sideline for Oakland tonight. Reese Smith, the senior tight end, wears number 4, is joined by Kyrie Gaynor, the senior defensive back, who wears number 11. Will Millsap, the senior wide receiver, wearing number 20. And Trayvon Jackson, the senior linebacker, wears number 23, and he is experiencing his first Battle of the Borough as an Oakland Patriot. As you've got 4 guys available for Riverdale. Captains tonight, Corbin Reynolds, the senior wide receiver, wearing number 1. He is joined by Caleb Woods, the senior defensive lineman, wearing number 55. The senior D lineman, Anthony Gunn, wears number 42, and rounded out with Aiden Emmons, the senior linebacker. But look at the tribute of those seniors carrying jersey number 71. The jersey of offensive lineman LeBrian Shelbourne, who was injured in the first game of his senior season, the returning co-offensive lineman of the year in the region. He was expected to lock down that left tackle position and suffered a knee injury against Knoxville Catholic. He's been through his surgery. He's been with the team throughout this season, and I just love to see the tribute from his fellow seniors there in this Battle of the Borough to walk that jersey out there, knowing how much Brian Shelbourne would love to be competing in this game tonight.
Absolutely. And you know it's got to hurt in the locker room knowing that that was a guy who had put in the time, he expected to play in this game, and then to have not only this taken away from him, but the entire season, it's just heartbreaking. And you love to see his teammates keeping him in mind and potentially knowing that they got to perform in this game, if not for anything else, but at least for their teammate.
Yeah, and look, we've said it numerous times, LeBrian Shelbourne, you lose your senior season as an offensive lineman from one game. If you're looking for a lineman, though, coaches that are out there, whatever, LeBron Shelburne deserves to play college football.
Absolutely. I mean, he is a great offensive lineman. You know, you saw what it did to this team in those first 4 or 5 games of the season, having him taken away from the lineup.
The Riverdale Warriors now will walk the long walk from our right to our left in front of the visitor stands, make their way down to the end zone to our left. It says always battling. Battle of the Borough on the run-through banner that the cheer squad has made. They get to walk in front of the whole visitor stands here. Now they'll burst into a bit of a run to go take their place behind that banner. Riverdale in their road whites tonight, white jerseys, red numbers outlined in gold, gold pants, and the gold helmets with the Florida State spear on the side. For Oakland, blue jerseys, blue pants, navy blue, white numbers. They've got the white helmets with that Patriot logo on the side, and we won't have any trouble seeing these numbers tonight.
No, it's going to be really nice. I mean, you look at we had some issues with it last week over at Rockdale, but this is not going to be as hard. These numbers stand out from the jerseys, and they're very iconic looks as well.
We are delighted to have you tuned in on aerosports.mixler.com for the Battle of the Borough 2025 edition. The number 2 team in the state of Tennessee in the Super 25 poll, the Oakland Patriots, hosting the number 23 team in that Super 25 poll, the Riverdale Warriors. 9-0 Oakland comes in. They are 6-0 in region play. Riverdale enters at 7-2. They are 5-1. Their lone loss in region competition to their other rival, the Blackman Blaze. 17-10 the final in that one, as they were unable to hold on to a potential game-tying touchdown catch in the end zone at the end of that ball game. But you know, Riverdale would love another shot at Blackman. It would have to come in the postseason, and as we go along tonight, we'll talk about some of those new postseason configurations. The one thing that we do know in the postseason is that Green Hill is going to be hosting a round 1 game. They will host either Rockville or Smyrna, the 4 seed, whichever team finishes 4th out of this region next week. Everything else is still up in the air tonight. That includes Region 4-6A, that's still to be determined, and here in Region 3-6A. That's pretty exciting when you get down to the final week and you only have, out of 8 seeds, 1 is determined.
Yeah, I mean, it just adds to the excitement, and that's the best part of high school football. I've always said the last 2 weeks of the regular season are the most fun because so many pieces start to fall in place here and there, and it's going to be exciting, and we'll keep up with how things are going on around the region.
So we've got the captains on the sidelines. We are at 7 o'clock. This is a MyTV 30 game tonight, so what that means is everything falls to the dictate of the TV cameras. You know how that goes, Ethan. That means we'll wait for them to come back from commercials, wait for they're ready. The breaks will be longer tonight. There will be stoppages along the way. That's what we're holding for right now.
Yeah, we're waiting on a media timeout, I would say, right now, and we're probably going to have a few of those. If you've not had the experience of that before, it definitely adds to the game, and it makes it a little bit longer because things feel a lot more scripted.
So if you choose to go over and watch on MyTV 30, I totally understand. They've got the full camera coverage here. They'll do a good job on their video. I'd encourage you to mute the sound and turn up your sound on aerosports.mixler.com. It should be relatively close in sync, I would hope. Or you can watch us on the Aerosports TN site on YouTube as we work with the students on that. And that is being streamed on our Starlink. So yes, there is some hiccup in there. We don't have a fiber cable here in the visitor stands or anything like that, but we'll do the best to bring you that. And then we will have full highlights for you next week from this contest on the Will Kreisky Show. That will air next Thursday night. It'll premiere at 6 o'clock on Aerosports, the letter T, the letter N on YouTube. That's ARROWSPORTS, TN on YouTube. And now the captains will make their way to the center. You've got some honorary captains as well as part of the MyTV 30 game, and they walk out. You know, I'm guessing Oakland wins the toss. Riverdale's going to get the football first. If Riverdale wins the toss, Oakland's probably going to get the ball first.
That's probably about accurate. I don't think either of these teams is exactly wanting to put their offense out on the field first. You want to see how your defense is going to handle things.
We'll certainly see how it goes. And the official will be out there and talk. And, of course, all the signals tonight will be towards the press box, which is across from us. So we'll have the back of the official every time. Might make it a little more challenging for us, but we're just glad to be here. I want to thank the athletic directors here at Oakland for making it possible. They said, hey, we are packed in the press box tonight, but you're welcome to be in the visitor stands. Riverdale did win, and they have deferred to the second half, so it will be the Warrior defense first taking on this Patriot offense. And I think in the grand scheme of things, that's probably how Coach Kreisky wanted it to go.
That's probably exactly how you want to start things off. Your defense has been really the heart of your team. That's really what, at least what got you through those first few tough games of the season. You want to put them out in the field first.
So Riverdale wins, they defer. Oakland will come out through the run-through banner to our right. That is the breakaway-style reusable banner. It's blue with the big Oakland O on it, and it says Patriots. They waste no time charging through it behind the Patriots flags, the Blue Army flag. They've got 4 of those leading them onto the field. So they take the field first here at Ray Hughes Stadium, and now here come the Warriors tearing through that non-reusable sign behind the Arrowhead R flag and the RHS flags carried by the cheerleaders. And all of the hype, all of the 365 days of waiting, going back to the regular season a year ago, it all renews tonight in the Battle of the Borough. These teams met twice a season ago, though, once in the regular season and then again in the TSSAA playoffs.
Yeah, and it was the highest scoring game in the series in the playoffs. 49-46, Oakland would come away with a close victory. The last win in the series for Riverdale came back in 2023 in the regular season, October 27th. They're looking to get back into the winning tradition of this rivalry. They've lost the last 3 matchups.
The Riverdale Warriors hold an advantage, though, of 33 wins to 26 losses over Oakland. A lot of that came on the strength of an 18-2 run between 1992 and 2007. That was where they kind of piled up the victories. Of late, Oakland has pretty much dominated the series, but Coach Will Kreisky is trying to get to that Oakland standard, and he has a standard at Riverdale, but you're always measured against what you do against your rivals. This year, they lost to Blackman, his twin brother, the head coach there. You know Coach Kreisky would love to go 1-1 against his rivals in 2025.
Absolutely. I mean, you know this team wants to go up against that team again. Talking about Blackman, I know they won a second matchup here, but the only way to get back even in your kind of games against rivalries is to win this one. This is the toughest game to win all season long, but you know that they're ready for it, and you know it's going to be a good one every time.
And so Miles Weaver will kick it away to get this one started. They've got all kinds of talent back deep. Do the Patriots? Giovanni Malone is back there. You're going to have Craig Tutt back there. You've got Joel Wyatt, one of the up guys. Look, you better kick it in the end zone. The kicking game tonight can be a big difference. You better kick it out of bounds on punts and be sure you get it in the end zone on the kickoff.
Special teams is going to play a huge part in this game. Both sides have pretty good special teams units, but I wouldn't say Oakland's pretty good. I'd say they're pretty great. They're an elite unit, and it's going to be tough. You don't want to give them opportunities in the special teams game.
They've run back some opening kickoffs this year. They've run back punts. They'll take it back on defense. They can score in all 3 phases, and they will take it to you. Coach Kreisky said one thing he knows about them, game in, game out, you're going to get hit, and they're going to make plays. The question for Riverdale is, can we just keep going, keep plowing ahead? Even when they make their plays, when that happens, don't hang your head because it can get away from you quick. Stay in the game, stay committed, and hopefully when it comes to the fourth quarter, you're going to have a chance. We were given a baseball analogy earlier, Ethan. It's like waiting for Shohei Ohtani to hang one over the plate. And if he does, you've got to capitalize.
Absolutely. And you got to have the correct mindset in this game, too. You know, to take away from, as a Knoxville native, to take away from one of General Neyland's 6-game maxims, if at first the breaks do not go your way, put on more steam. This is a game that you might be down early. You might not have the best start, but you got to be able to keep pushing in this matchup. You got to fight. You got to be able to stay in it, and that's what will help you. If you kind of lay down early, it's going to get away from you quickly.
And that's the beauty of a rivalry game. Look, if one of these teams was coming in winless and the other was undefeated, it doesn't matter. It's a cliche to say throw the records out, but that's just what it is because that's how much it means to every single player on both sidelines, every fan in the stands tonight. And look, I got to be honest, perhaps it has something to do with it being a Thursday night, but there are empty seats, and that surprises me. I think the temps and the Thursday night maybe has something to do with it.
I'm a little surprised by it, too. I was sitting there thinking, like, we're full on the visitor side, but it's not exactly packed on the other side. Now, granted, there may still be some people getting in. Maybe it's a parking concern, but even on a Thursday night for this game, you expect to have a sold-out crowd.
Miles Weaver, the senior, will kick it off. He will tee the football at the 40-yard line. He will go from our right to our left. Remember, we are on the visitor stands tonight, so we do not have the same vantage point as the press box does. Craig Tutt is back deep, the 6', 190-pound senior. He is back there with Giovanni Malone, the sophomore. Joel Wyatt wearing number 14, one of the up men. There's no safe spot to kick it other than across the goal line and get a touchback. Let him start there.
Yeah, I mean, the best bet here is go for the touchback. Don't give him anything to go with because this is a dangerous return unit. And there's not even anybody, even a lot of the up guys, you don't want to get the ball to. They're just so explosive on special teams.
The official has handed the football to Miles Weaver, but we're still waiting on the TV situation. Now Weaver has it. He'll set it on the tee. And we are set to go in the 2025 edition of the Battle of the Borough. Riverdale at Oakland in the 60th all-time meeting to close out the regular season in 2025. Weaver hits it at the 40. He drives it deep, not deep enough. It's returnable at the 6. Giovanni Malone across the 30, still on his feet. 40, 45, 50, he's gone. Giovanni Malone all the way back to the house. He brought it up the middle of the field, Ethan, and we couldn't have said it any better. Malone returned it 95 yards for a kick return for touchdown, exploded through the Riverdale special teams unit and took it all the way to the house, no flags down.
I mean, we knew it. We knew that you got to be able to get it through the end zone. You have to go for a touchback, and they made him pay for it immediately. Without even getting their offense out on the field, Oakland's going to be up by a touchdown already.
A touchdown return of 94 yards, 15 seconds into the game, and Oakland leads 6-0. The extra point now is pending. It is Jose Hernandez, the kicker. The holder is Matthew Moore. The long snapper is Clark Boutte. Kick is up, and it is good. You're 15 seconds in, and you're down 7-0. Just like Coach Kreisky said, they're going to make plays. Don't hang your head. Stay in it. Now Riverdale has to respond.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get on offense now, and you got to make something happen. I say the best thing you can do, though, is have a sustained drive, run some time off the clock, but you got to get in the end zone. At the very least, you got to put points up on the board because this is already a deficit you didn't want to have this early in the ball game.
And I mean, on a cold night, we saw it in the World Series the other night in that 18-inning game. As the temperature drops, the ball doesn't carry as well. There's not any wind really to speak of tonight. The flag's hanging straight down on the pole. Miles Weaver hit it, but in the cold weather, it just fell at the 6-yard line. And 94 yards later, Oakland has a 7-0 lead.
Got to get out, and you got to respond here on this opening drive for the offense because, I mean, this is how it starts for this Oakland team. This is how they get ahead, and this is how they get rolling.
How can Riverdale respond? 15 seconds in, they trail 7-0. Now Jose Hernandez will tee it up at the 40-yard line and kick it left to right. As Riverdale has several men back deep, and they will get it a chance with Zayden Jones if he gets a chance to return it. Hernandez hits it, drives it deep, and Jones will have it, bobbles it. It falls back into the end zone. He'll have to bring it out across the 5, across the 10, makes a move, but cannot get out to the 15-yard line, and the Warriors will start inside there as Jones bobbled it slightly, but avoided a disaster. They'll start 1st and 10 at about the 15.
That's still not a great way to start things off for your offense. You bobbled the catch on the return, and you get taken down at the 15. Or correction, they're going to be down at the 13. I mean, there's just not an ideal way to start things on special teams, and that's certainly it.
11:38 to go, opening quarter on a cold evening, but it did warm up, and thankfully it stays dry. Here's Gavin Hampton, the 6'4", 195-pound quarterback in the gun. Looks to throw, fires right. Has Riley Talley. Talley, though, hit right away. He's trying to spin out of the tacklers at the 15, but the closing speed of the Oakland corners is phenomenal, and they bring him down after the short gain of about 2 to make it 2nd and 8.
They've got a really talented secondary. It's going to be tough. You know this Riverdale team, they like to put the ball in the air. They like to go with that passing offense. but there's a lot of defensive backs and linebackers even on this team that can cover and lock down almost anybody.
They'll give him 3 yards, actually, make it 2nd and 7 from the 16-yard line. 3 receivers left, one to the right for Hampton. From the gun, handed off Vaughn. Vaughn running right, puts his hand on the back of a blocker and gets it up to about the 20-yard line. And that'll be a gain of about 4 to set up 3rd and manageable. It's a little harder because we're lower here in the visitor stands to see all the markings on the field, Ethan, but he does get it to the 20 on the carry by Vaughn, so it'll be 3rd and 3. So a gain of 4 there. 3 receivers left, one to the right for Hampton. Here's an early, huge 3rd down for the Warriors, who trail 7-0 after the opening kickoff was returned for a touchdown by the Patriots. Ball is close to the far hash. Vaughn is on the right side of the quarterback, Hampton. Claps his hands, takes the shotgun snap. In the pocket, looks to throw. Going to dump it off to Vaughn. Vaughn's going to be close to the 25. He'll have that 1st down and extend the drive. That's a big, big 3rd down pickup on this opening offensive drive for the Warriors.
Absolutely. You can't go 3 and out. That would have been the worst thing they could do here. But you still got to get down the field and you got to get points. You're going to see a lot of those shorter passes. They know this is not a team that you got to try and stretch the field against.
They get it to the 26, so it's a 6-yard pickup. 1st and 10 at the Riverdale 26. Down to 10 minutes to go here. Opening quarter. Patriots in front. 7-0. Hampton from the gun. Vaughn to his right. 3 receivers on his left, 1 to his right side. Takes that snap. Hands it to Vaughn. Vaughn picks his way through the offensive line. Good yardage this time on 1st down, and it'll set up 2nd down for Riverdale. As we wait for the official to spot it, he will place it right at the 29. So a pickup of 3 for Vaughn. 2nd and 7 from the Riverdale 29. Riverdale stairs to the sideline, does Hampton, looking for his offensive coordinator, Justin Barnes. Now he'll walk up, talk to the offensive line. He'll bunch everybody in close on the left side, single receiver right side for the 2nd and 7 from the 29. Snap, going to try to swing it out to Tritch, turning the corner, get a blocker out there. Not much space for Tritch on the corner as he was working against Craig Tutt, the 6'1", 190-pound senior who's already committed to a SEC institution.
He's an Ole Miss commit. Plays running back and defensive back, and he's a tough guy to go up against. There's a lot of great players on this defense. They've also got Wyatt. He's going to be tough for this team.
It'll be 3rd and 4 at the Riverdale 32 after the Hampton to Tritch 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 7. Ball's on the near hash now as they go right to left. Braylon Burns is on the short side of the field. Over on the right side, Riley Talley is in close to the line. Tritch is in the slot on the right, and then Corbin Reynolds. But they're bunched up close once again. Vaughn on the right side of Hampton, the quarterback, takes the snap. Handoff, Vaughn. Vaughn trying to get a blocker running left. They close the gap as he crosses the 35, however. Jacob Vaughn, very close. They have not moved the chains yet. It's going to be 4th down. Waiting for the official to spot the ball. Going to be 4th and... It's sitting right on the 35, so we'll call it 4th and a yard. 3-yard pickup there by Vaughn. And they will shuttle some guys in. Aiden Emmons comes in. Hudson Fuqua comes in. We get that short yardage jumbo package. 4th and 1. Gavin Hampton has a little motion up front, takes the snap. Hampton going to tuck it himself, plow forward, and get across the 35. The big corn-fed Gavin Hampton going right across the 35, and he uses that 6'4", 195-pound frame very well.
And that's a very gutsy call right there on 4th and 1 to say, all right, we're going to go out, we're going to try and out-muscle you here with this jumbo set. You love to see the aggression from this offense.
2-yard pickup on 4th and 1 makes it 1st and 10 at the Riverdale 37-yard line as they extend the drive. Under 7.5 to go now in the first quarter, trailing 7-0. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Ball in the near hash. Hampton handed off Vaughn. Vaughn stutter step in the backfield, and then he's popped right at the 40-yard line after about a 3-yard pickup. But look, the offensive line is doing a good job. If you can get 3-4 yards on 1st down, it keeps that playbook very available to Coach Justin Barnes.
That's something I was a little worried about coming into this game. Looking at that offensive line, we know they struggled earlier on in the season, and not having LeBron Shelburne, you wonder what they do against this elite front 7. But so far in this game, they've really controlled the pace.
2nd and 7 at the 40-yard line. 3 receivers right this time, 2 to the left, empty backfield. Low snap, Hampton has it. Short throw, he's got it. across the 45 and forced out of bounds on that near sideline is Zayden Jones. Zayden Jones with the reception and another first down for Riverdale. This is one of the more extended drives already that we've seen this season from the Warriors.
That's how you got to play against these guys. You know, I said a minute ago, they've got one of the best, maybe the best front seven in all of football, and they've got an elite secondary. You have to play short passes, running game, extend these drives, because chances are you're not going to be able to take a downfield shot.
It's a 7-yard pickup on 2nd and 7 to make it 1st and 10 from that Riverdale 47. Down to 6:42 to go first quarter as the clock stops here. They'll go 5 wides once again. Hampton from the gun. Snap. On the near hash, looks to throw, has Reynolds at the 40-yard line, bounces off a tackler. Corbin Reynolds inside to the 35. He lost the football as he hit the ground and covered it right back up. Look, my breath kind of catches in my throat whenever you throw the ball because these cornerbacks and free safeties are so talented.
And that was a really tough place to throw the ball, too, right over the middle. You had Joel Wyatt sitting there along with Craig Tutt in coverage, but he's able to haul it in and then break a tackle. You know, kudos to Reynolds to be able to even hold on to that football there in that situation.
It's an 18-yard pickup to the Oakland 35-yard line. Another first down for the Warriors, who are driving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the 11th play of the drive already. Down to 6 minutes to go first quarter as we hit the midway point. Oakland returned the opening kick. 94 yards for a touchdown. The Warriors trying to respond. Snap to Hampton. Looks to throw. He's flushed from the pocket, and he will not escape this time, and he'll be sacked back at the 40-yard line. And the Oakland defense did get in finally.
And that time it was Trayvon Jackson, the former Warrior, who was able to get in for the sack. That's tough right there. You never want to go behind the chains on any drive, especially against this team.
It's a loss of 5 back to the 40-yard line of the Patriots. It'll be 2nd and 15 from there. And now they'll go 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Vaughn on the right side, and they'll give it right back with motion up front. It looks like offside against the Patriots.
That's big right there. It's going to pretty much negate the sack and help get you a little bit closer. You essentially just lose a down.
And they'll move that forward. It's not quite to the 35-yard line, but we'll call it. So offside, we'll call it 2nd and 10. It's a long 10. From that 35-yard line. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Ball on the far hash. Now Tritch will come motion right to left. Hampton takes the shotgun snap. He's in the pocket, looks to throw. Finds Riley Talley on the near sideline. Talley inside the 20, inside the 15. Riley Talley on the completion on the out route. And Riverdale keeps the drive alive, picks up another first down.
And that was a great throw right there, right on time, right on the money to find that open gap in the defense. And that's huge right now. You're starting to get some confidence in this passing game, and that's going to help them.
That is a 21-yard pickup on 2nd and 10. It's 1st and 10 from the Oakland 14-yard line as Hampton hits Talley. 14th play of the drive coming up. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. It's Braylon Burns on the short side of the field. Ball on the left hash as they move right to left. Hampton in the pocket, looks to throw right. Dangerous pass, elevating in the end zone. Touchdown, Warriors. The freshman, Luke Tritch, number 10, went and got it. Hampton sailed it in over double coverage, and Riverdale's an extra point away from tying it up here in the first quarter in the Battle of the Borough. 7-6 right now. Weaver on to attempt the extra point.
I mean, what a throw and what a catch. Tritch able to lay out, extend, haul that pass in over at the corner in coverage against Joel Wyatt, of all people. What a play to get on offense.
Now a critical extra point here for Miles Weaver out of the snap of Cooper Dees and the hold of Jake Rolling. The snap, the hold, the kick is up. It is good, and exactly what the Warriors needed, a response after the gut punch of an opening kickoff returned 94 yards for a touchdown by Giovanni Malone. 15 seconds into the game, you trail, but you come right back and march it down the field. 7 minutes and 9 seconds on the drive, Ethan. A drive that covered 87 yards. That is a statement from the Warriors.
Absolutely, a long extended drive. We haven't seen a lot from that team this season. You see a lot of those quick strike plays, and you know that in this game you're not going to be able to go for those deep shots, but what a way to have a long, sustained drive, get on the board, and even things up. But it's going to be critical to see what they do here on special teams to follow things up.
I would have to go back this week before the Coach Will Kreisky show and check. 14 plays may be the longest drive of the season. It may be back at that Stewart's Creek drive. I'd have to go back and check that long extended drive that they had there. But we haven't seen too many double-digit drives from the Warriors this year.
No, I mean that's not the brand of football that they prefer to play. They like to take deep shots. They like to be explosive. So in order to have this long, sustained drive is huge, especially against this great defense.
Wondering about, Ethan, what you think, what that does for just the mental state of this Warrior team. After you take that, opening kickoff back, you fall behind. You see the bounce in their step here, knowing all of a sudden we can play.
Well, it does a lot for you momentum-wise because, first off, you converted on a fourth down. You converted on a couple big third downs. So what it does for you is it says, all right, these guys couldn't get us off the field opening up. We were able to do what we wanted to do. We were able to out-physical them. We were able to run the ball. We were able to find key passing plays. We were able to do what we want to do on offense against these guys.
Since last November, Coach Will Kreisky has preached little things, little things, little things. He lost 49-46 in that TSSAA quarterfinal a year ago in November by 3 points, and he just said, those little things. He's preached that. On that drive, the little things were executed really to perfection. They had the one sack, but then they got it right back on the offside penalty. And the precision throws, taking what was available, that's what you're going to have to do throughout the game tonight.
Absolutely. You're going to have to continue to stay fundamentally sound with those little things. We saw earlier on in the season how many points were taken off the board because of penalties or simple mistakes or missed opportunities. You're going to have to continue to play within yourselves and play sound in this ballgame in order to keep things close or even potentially end up coming out with a victory.
That drive had just one penalty, and it was against Oakland. This time they'll go short kick. Joel Wyatt at the 25. Look out, he's dangerous as well. Wyatt slips through a tackler, but he's brought down shy of the 40. Goodness gracious. I mean, like I said, there are no open spots to kick it to. If you can't get it in the end zone, you kick it to an up man, and that's Joel Wyatt, who's headed to Tennessee.
I was going to say, I understand the idea of kicking it to an up man, not giving it to the designated return man, letting them set things up. But of all the up guys to kick it to, that's probably the last one I would have gone to.
Patriots will start their first offensive drive, 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line in a tie ball game, 7-7 after they ran back the opening kickoff. So we will get our first look here at the quarterback, and we'll see which one they send out there. Is it 6 or 5? 6 is Dante Cameron, 5 is Cam Morton. And, of course, I'm at an angle that it's tough to see. Here's the snap. And they're going to look to throw. It's Cam Morton, the freshman. He's going to roll right, flush from the pocket. Cam Morton on the near sideline, still on his feet. He's pushed out of bounds, but not until he gets a nice gain. The freshman can scramble.
Absolutely. I mean, he is a very talented player, athletic. He's got a lot of speed. He moves well. He's going to be tough for them to bottle up.
And they get it to the 46, so a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4 from there.
And they just swapped out, so now out comes Dante Cameron to play quarterback.
And that is something that Kevin Creasy did back previously, where he would switch his quarterbacks out on every single snap. So stay on your toes. They'll hand it off, this time in the backfield, bouncing off. Moving to the right is the ball carrier, Justice Haggard, the 6', 185-pound senior. He's forced into the Riverdale sideline, but Haggard's a load to bring down, and he leads this team actually in touchdowns on the season, I believe, Ethan.
Yeah, he's got a lot of touchdowns in the year. They've got a really tough running game to stop. You've got Craig Tutt, the Ole Miss commit. You've got Justice Haggard. And if they go to the air, they've got a lot of weapons as well with Joel Wyatt and Giovanni Malone. It's always interesting to see this, our first look at their offense, and we're already, 8 minutes into the ball game.
1st and 10 now from the Riverdale 43, an 11-yard pickup for Haggard on that 2nd down carry. Ball in the near hash, they go left, right. They're going to hand it off that wing T coming around the right side, breaking through inside the 20-yard line, and being forced out over there.
It was Kamani Bass, but there's a
flag down in the corner. It's behind the tent. And Oakland's clapping their hands after the big pickup by Bass gets them down into the red zone, and there may be more tacked on here. And we'll keep an eye on that quarterback swap. They are going to swap again. It's Dante Cameron, the 6'1", 170-pound junior, checking in. And remember, we are on the visitor side, so all of the official signals will be sent towards the press box across from us. So we'll try to pick it up. Personal foul against Riverdale. I could not see. It was down here on the near sideline behind that tent, so I'm not sure, but it happened on the sideline down there against the Warriors. And so tack on a few extra yards, which we just talked about, those penalties. Not what you need. And they will set the football at the 15-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from there. And that was a penalty. So now you've got Dante Cameron, takes the shotgun snap, running right. He's hit in the backfield, reverses course to his left. Here comes Zayden Jones. He cannot get past Jones as pursuit came from help, and a good job by the Warrior defense to reverse field that way as Cameron went right, no running room, took it back left. And I look up and there's 4 drones in the air, Ethan.
Yeah, you need
air traffic control to handle the drone traffic.
You got there's a lot built into this game. This is honestly more comparable to probably a small level college football game as opposed to just your average Thursday, Friday night high school football game.
Cameron gets a 1-yard pickup to the Riverdale 14. It'll be 2nd and 9 from there. The Riverdale defense being tested here. They're going to give it to running left as trying to make the turnover there is Craig Tutt. Not much space. That's one thing, this Riverdale defense, it's tough to run against them.
Absolutely. I mean, they have one of the best run defenses in all of 6A football, but they're going to have to continue to step things up here. This is a big 3rd down. If you can get them behind the sticks or at least keep them from picking up that 1st down, you might be able to hold them to a field goal.
It was a 4-yard pickup for Tutt. It'll make it 3rd and 5 at the Riverdale 10. Ball is on the far hash, 2:27 and counting here in the first quarter of a tie ball game. It is still Dante Cameron. He takes the snap, wants to set up a little throw over there, has his receiver, bounces off a tackler, and Joel Wyatt into the end zone. You can't just bring him down on the first contact. He's too big for that as he goes 6'4", 195 pounds. You can pick him out on that field. That's how sizable he is.
Yeah, you can always see where he is on the field, and it makes it easier for a defensive coordinator to game plan because you always know where he is, but the hard part is you got to game plan against him. He's a great athlete. There's a reason he's going to go play SEC ball.
Touchdown from Dante Cameron to Joel Wyatt. And the extra point here from Hernandez is blocked by the Warriors. They get to it, they block it. Trying to see who got in there. Zayden Jones may have been the man as he's getting a lot of high fives from the sideline. Jones was there. They had pressure from others as well, however, as Riverdale got Dre Oti in. That could be big as special teams comes up with a huge play, blocking the extra point. 13-7 is your score as Riverdale special teams unit blocked that kick attempt from Jose Hernandez. The holder was Matthew Moore.
That's huge right there. You take 1 point off the board. In the grand scheme of things, that might not seem like a lot, but as we get further along in this ball game, I mean, you can see that potentially come back, especially if Riverdale goes down the field, puts up another touchdown, takes the lead. It'll be interesting to see how that impacts the rest of this ball game.
A 6-play drive that time for Oakland, and it covered 60 yards. It took just 2 minutes and 16 seconds off this first quarter clock. 13-7. That 49-46 quarterfinal game last November, the highest scoring contest in the history of this series. Ethan, we may be on the way for more tonight. We thought we'd get the fireworks last week against Rockville, and it was scoreless at the end of the first quarter. We've got 20 points on the board here and still 2:12 to go.
Very different feel this week as opposed to last week. Now, granted, these are two teams that are some of the best in the state, but we definitely could be headed for a high-scoring affair. But I wouldn't be surprised to see as we get further along, these defenses start to really hone in on what these offenses are trying to do.
After an excellent opening drive for Riverdale to respond to the touchdown return on the opening kickoff tonight, the Warrior offense will get a chance to respond here after this drive. And we saw that double-digit play drive result in a touchdown completion to Tritch. You know, we said coming in that half of Gavin Hampton's 24 touchdown passes this season have been to the senior transfer Corbin Reynolds, as he has 12 receptions on the year. Right behind him is Luke Tritch, the freshman. But tonight, Reynolds is probably going to be blanketed by the 6'4" Joel Wyatt. That's going to leave Tritch, and then you drop down to Zayden Jones. You drop to Braylon Burns. You drop to Riley Talley. They're all going to have to be involved tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a tough night for this offense, and you got to wonder what Justin Barnes has game planned because there's so much that you have to work around. Obviously, you have Wyatt in the back You've got Trayvon Jackson, who's been great all season long. You have a great defensive line that you're going up against. I think Trich and Talley are probably going to be the two main targets in this ballgame. We saw that on the first drive.
You've got to take your opportunities when they present themselves. You can't force anything. When I look back to last week, it was, one mistake that was made. But what we've seen throughout this season with Gavin Hampton in his first year as a varsity starter, he did not get many snaps. He was behind so many guys at Ravenwood, a Boston College commit, a Navy commit. So at the start of the season, we saw his maturity come on pretty quickly to where he usually doesn't make the same mistake twice. And tonight, he's going to build on that full 9 games of experience and put it into play. I thought the opening drive was quite a statement for him. He's going to have to continue that here on this drive.
The best thing that we saw from that opening drive was that he looked comfortable. The moment was not getting to him. He was standing in the pocket. If he had to move, he'd moved, but he looked comfortable.
And he has that trust with these receivers. That's going to be important as we go on throughout this game. 2:12 to go, opening quarter. Jose Hernandez will tee it at the 40. He will kick it off. Let's see what Riverdale can do. It's confusion back there. They get a man to take it. He's going to bring it to the near side, try to slip through a couple of tacklers, and be dropped down right there is the return man, as this time it's Elijah Reams on the return. And he gets it to the 20, so it'll be 1st and 10 from there, 80 yards away from the goal line. And there go the drones from one end down to the other. There's as much action in the sky as there is on the turf.
Like I said, this is a lot more comparable to a, kind of mid-major college football game as opposed to your average Friday Night Lights.
So Reams returns it to the 20-yard line. Hampton will bring out that offensive line, and he'll go 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Jacob Vaughn, the sophomore back, on his right side. Coach Christy said he's not really a sophomore anymore. We told him after game 5, you might as well be a junior now. You better play that way. He has been all season long. Hampton takes the shotgun snap in the pocket with time. Going to dump it off to Vaughn, the outlet. Vaughn trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he can't. Great coverage over there by Oakland as Kyrie Gaynor, the senior DB, came up to make the tackle. And it's going to be a loss of 2 to set up 2nd and 12.
Smart decision to take a check down there, but you got to put the ball right out in front of him. He put a little bit behind Vaughn, and that gave them time to get up to him because he had to make the adjustment to make the catch.
They'll go Braylon Burns wide left now. It is going to be Riley Talley in the slot to the left. Luke Trich in close to the line on that left side, the wide side of the field. Corbin Reynolds on the short side. Ball sits on the far hash. Here's Hampton from the gun with Vaughn on his right. Claps his hands, takes the shotgun snap. Sets his feet, fires it. Corbin Reynolds has it across the 30. Corbin Reynolds picks up the first down on the completion. It's quick decision-making, too, in the pocket. Hampton took about a 2-second beat and got rid of the football.
You have to have quick decision-making. You can't have these long developing plays against this defense. The biggest thing I think right now that they're looking at is where's Joel White. He's on the right side of the field in that last play with 3 receivers. They can go to the other side and go over to Reynolds. That's going to be what they're looking at here.
16-yard pickup on the completion to the senior Corbin Reynolds. Sets up 1st and 10 at the Riverdale 34-yard line. They'll stick with the 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Vaughn on the left side. Now he'll switch to the right side of Hampton, who takes the shotgun snap. They'll hand it off Vaughn. Vaughn moving left, trying to turn the corner. He can't. Riley Talley was trying to set the edge, but busting through and blowing up the play was Craig Tutt. Here comes a flag late, however.
I don't think I'm big on that. I don't think I'm big on that call right there.
The flag came in very late. Talley was trying to set that edge to let Vaughn turn the corner. They're just incredibly quick on the corners.
That's going to be a tough penalty right there, but I'm not going to lie to you, Chris. That looked like there was a little bit of
personal foul against Riverdale.
There was a little bit of dramatizing on that right there. I don't want to say flop, but I will say there was some acting going on right there on what happened at the end of that play.
It was on the Riverdale sideline, and that penalty will push them back. Personal foul against Riverdale. So that's going to march it back. They're going to set the football down at the 20-yard line. It's on the 20, so it'll be 2nd down and 24 from the Riverdale 20. 24 seconds left in the quarter. Now a penalty flag as they blow up the center that time. As Getting knocked backwards was Dakari King, the 5'9 junior for the Warriors. The false start against Riverdale. Now the penalties. And this is what we were saying. If you can't think about that previous play. You got to turn the page and move. So false start makes it 2nd down and 29. The Riverdale 15 seconds left. They may let this roll out, flip ends of the field and reset. We'll try to talk to Josh Adams at the quarter break. He's down on the sideline for us and get a report from him as well. They will going to let this roll out. That's going to be the end of the first quarter. With your score, Oakland 13 and Riverdale 7 in the 2025 edition of the Battle of the Borough. It was an exciting first quarter. We will check in down on the sideline with our sideline reporter, Josh Adams. And Josh, very exciting start to this game with the kickoff return, 94 yards, but what a response from the Warriors.
Absolutely. Chris, it's been high energy since the kickoff. Both teams had really good, explosive opening drives. So you see that Riverdale really responded here on that the first drive that they had after that explosive end-to-end touchdown from the Patriots. They're looking to just continue on with the drive, and hopefully that they can continue and continue to win this game.
You've seen some games over here at Oakland, but there's nothing quite like the Battle of the Borough, is there?
Nothing like it. This Battle of the Borough is definitely looking to be a shootout early on, at least. No, continue.
No, the amount of talent on the field. When you see Tut down there close, and you see Joel Wyatt, those guys stand out as SEC players. Riverdale's got a few of their own, though.
No, absolutely. There's a bunch of different prospects here on the field trying to show their talents and make the most of it with this being a highly televised game.
What do you think about this second quarter? Riverdale just needs to continue, I think, got to eliminate these penalty flags.
Yeah, Riverdale obviously is trying to get in a swing still. It looks like they're gaining a little bit of momentum. If they can just continue to settle down and really make sure that they establish a good run game, but also keep that pass game going like they've been doing, I think everything's going to be all right.
How's it feel down there on the sideline with these packed stands? It's a pretty cool environment.
No, it's crazy. I would say that this has definitely been one of the most highly anticipated games we've had for this season. And as you can see, all the energy is from sideline to sideline. Everyone is riled up.
Josh, I appreciate your work this season. I'm looking forward to checking in with you at the end of the second quarter. Thank you for what you bring to these broadcasts, and let's see what the Warriors can put together here in the next 12 minutes.
I appreciate it. I'm excited to see what comes next.
Josh Adams down on the sideline. We'll talk with him again at the end of the first half. And Ethan, it's the talent on the field, and that's what makes this fun. I mean, guys like Wyatt, guys like Tut, Hampton and Vaughn, the defensive players. We've got Emmons. You've got Hudson Fuqua. They're more celebrated players perhaps on Oakland's sideline, but the talent gap is actually narrower than some might think.
Very, very narrow. I mean, the biggest thing is that if you look at the trenches, that's where a lot of games are won and lost, and both these teams stack up very well against each other, as well as at the skill positions. It's not the same gap that most people would look at.
As we get set to start the second quarter, Riverdale now goes left to right from our vantage point, facing 2nd and 29 at their 15-yard line. Looking to throw. Hampton's pressured. He'll tuck it inside the 5-yard line. His forward progress will be stopped outside of the end zone. He was driven backwards, and pressure got to him. They'll spot him at the 5. That's a loss of 10. 3rd and 39 now after the sack. But a good decision there from Hampton. There was nowhere to go with that football.
It's very smart. Sometimes you just have to take the result of a play. You never want to, but it's just what you have to go for. And I don't really know what the play call is going to be here. I mean, you know you want to take a shot, but against this defense, it's hard. And you know you want to give your punter some breathing room if you don't pick anything up.
You just hope to get it out a little bit off the goal line there. 3rd and 39 from the 5-yard line. They'll hand it off, keep it on the ground. Vaughn can't turn the corner, however. And you see a lot of stuff after the play. A lot of guys going to the turf after the whistle blows. Yeah,
and that's going to be something we're going to see a lot in this game. We saw it earlier on in this drive, and that's what ended up backing them up so far. There was the unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. And that's something we're going to see continue throughout this game. This is a very big moment right here. A lot of people don't realize how good this Oakland special teams unit is. And being so far backed up, Miles Weaver does not have a lot of room.
No, 1-yard pickup for Vaughn there to the 6. It's 4th and 38 from that 6. Ball's on the far hash. Man back deep for Oakland at the 40-yard line. Now he'll creep up a little bit. Weaver has it, gets rid of it. It's a good high kick. Tutt will be driven backwards to the 44-yard line of the Warriors. He tries to shake and bake a defender and be forced out of bounds on the Patriots sideline. But Oakland will start 1st and 10 in Riverdale territory, leading 13-7 here early in the second quarter. And that drive did not go the way Riverdale wanted it to after having such a successful opening drive tonight.
Well, all of it really goes back to that one unsportsmanlike conduct penalty right after the play. If you take that away, all of a sudden they've got 15 yards that they keep, and they probably keep that drive going because they were starting to move the ball.
1st and 10 Oakland. They'll have it at the Riverdale 43-yard line. 10:23 to go here in the second quarter. 13-7 is your score as Riverdale blocked the extra point attempt after Oakland scored on their first offensive possession of the night. Patriots returned the opening kickoff, 94 yards for a touchdown from Giovanni Malone. And then they got the touchdown pass from Cameron to Joel Wyatt. Riverdale got on the board with a touchdown completion from Gavin Hampton to Luke Tritch, and we're in another TV break here. You think about Gavin Hampton, and I believe my understanding, a couple weeks ago we talked about him picking up the Arizona State offer. He's got a Nebraska offer and headed out to visit the Cornhuskers, I believe, this weekend. They've got a big game themselves, and Gavin Hampton, with a couple more years of football before he heads to college, is certainly making the rounds.
Absolutely. It's very impressive to see somebody get all these offers this early on in their high school football career. And, of course, Nebraska, they've got a pretty big game on Saturday. They'll be taking on the number 23 ranked USC Trojans at home on Saturday night. That'll be a fun one to go on a visit to. I'm sure he's going to have a great time.
Yeah, as we, turn the calendar from October to November this weekend, get past Halloween. Gavin Hampton's got some more games in front of him this season as a Riverdale Warrior, but he's certainly looking ahead to his future. 1st and 10 from the Riverdale 43 for the Patriots. They'll take the snap here, hand it off. It's Cam Morton this time handing off to Tutt. Tutt bounces it to the left corner. There's a penalty flag comes in. Tutt trying to make a play and a great open field tackle. Zayden Jones is a gamer. I mean, he just came up and took Tutt on one-on-one. He doesn't care where Tutt's going to play college. Zayden Jones made a big play.
Absolutely, and he's a tough guy to tackle because he's shifty. He's got great size. Wonder what this call is going to be on. It's going to be on the Patriots. That's a hold. That's huge right there. Back him up 10 yards and give you a chance to get a stop on defense.
Flag set at the 37-yard line, so that's going to take him back to the 47-yard line. It'll still be 1st down, so the hold will move them backwards. It'll be 1st down and 14 from the Riverdale 47-yard line. We're down, coming up on 10 minutes to go here, first half. Boy, if the Riverdale defense could come up with a turnover, get a stop here, get the football back, just keep points off the board, that would put some momentum onto the Riverdale sideline. Warriors with the football right between the hashes. Cam Morton takes the shot. Now, no, it's Dante Cameron now. His throw looking for Tutt goes through his hands. And they keep changing those quarterbacks. I got to stay right on my toes. And between 5 and 6, it's not easy. That was Cameron, the junior, with the pass attempt. It falls incomplete to set up 2nd and 14.
That's huge right there. You're able to get rid of 1st down. You've got 2 more now. You've got to be able to come up with a stop, especially being down on the board.
We'll try to see where they spread. And that's the other thing. It's not just one playmaker you have to look for out there. I've got to spot 4 or 5 different guys to try to figure out where the playmakers are for the Patriots. They're just loaded with talent. They will walk back to the line of scrimmage with that wing T offense. Setting up 2nd and 14 from the 47. There's the snap, looking to throw. Pressure comes. Now he's flushed out of the pocket on the run with running room. 1st down until Emmons can shove him out of bounds after a big pickup. And it was Cam Morton. The freshman can really pick him up and lay him down, and he made something out of nothing on that possession.
He's got a lot of speed. He is tough to catch up to. He's shifty. And he read the pass rush well that time, was able to get out and get early down the field. Something you love to see from a freshman, but there's just so much talent on this offense.
It's a 24-yard pickup to the Riverdale 23-yard line on what was a broken play. They had everybody covered, but Cam Morton took it himself. He'll have Dante Cameron now go under center with a single back behind him. They'll hand it off to that back behind him, but a great read up front by the Warrior defense. And in making the tackle there was Gael Lara, the 6'2", 220-pound junior linebacker. And just a gain of 2 for, I believe that was Bass on the carry. But a 2-yard pickup will set up 2nd and 8. Lara made a nice play up front. And they've got this one actually to the 20, so we'll give him 3 yards. 2nd and 7 from the Riverdale 20. Keep it on the ground. Tut trying to get on that edge. Not much there. They stop him shy of the 15, at maybe the 16 or 17. We'll wait to see where the officials put it down. It'll be 3rd and manageable, however. They'll put it at the 17. So a gain of 3, 3rd and 4. Here's a big 3rd down. Can Riverdale, get a stop here? I'm thinking it's probably 4 down territory, though.
I think the biggest thing here is if you can force something behind the sticks, if you can go ahead and get a tackle for a loss, maybe 2 yards, maybe they go out and settle for a field goal, but anything further, they're going to go for it.
From the 17-yard line, 3rd and 4 for the Patriots. This is Dante Cameron. Cameron going to keep it himself, and he's hit. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. They blew it up as Riverdale got pressure on that right side. Jeremy Thompson, the 5'10", 205-pound sophomore, was in there, I believe. And what a play there. It will be 4th down here from the 17-yard line. No gain for Cameron.
And they're going to keep Cameron out here, so they're kind of breaking away from that tradition of swapping out quarterbacks. This is a huge 4th down. If you can get a stop here, you'll get the ball right back and have a chance to go down the field.
Down to 7:15 and counting to go here in the 2nd quarter. 13-7, Patriots in front and driving. 4th and 4 at the Riverdale 17. They'll snap it, they'll go razzle-dazzle, rolling it right. Here's a penalty flag. Turning the corner on the right side is Dante Cameron. They had all types of misdirection and flipping the football around there, but I think it's coming back, Ethan.
I think it's most certainly coming back. This could be a hold.
Again, the officials will face the press box, which is on the other side of the field. We're on the visitors' stands tonight, so we would try to read it. It is a hold. It is against the Patriots on 4th and 4, and I think it was behind the line of scrimmage. The penalty flag is sitting at the 18-yard line.